Hey guys, it's Ty with Ty the Dog Guy on the Daily, and I wanted to talk today about taking a puppy away too early from its mother and from its litter mates. I just got off the phone with somebody who had done this. They had brought the puppy home at about 5 weeks. Now, this is not to critique them because in their case, there's really no choice. The mother died. You know, the mother of the puppies died, and so they really didn't have any choice in taking the puppy away. But in talking with her, I was kind of helping her understand, hey, in taking, the puppy away too early, here's the issues. Now, again, she didn't have any choice. It's not like she did anything wrong in taking the puppy away. That's just how it was. Some folks do have that choice. They're sitting there in front of a dog, and the dog's 5-6 weeks old, and they're like, they're given the opportunity by the owners, hey, you can take the dog home right now. And generally, we're going to recommend people to not do that. Again, really the only way we'd ever recommend it is in situations like this where the mom dies or there's a health issue or something like that where the puppies really can't be with mom. And in that case, taking them, before 6 weeks is, it is what it is. It's not, it's not great, but it is what it is. But there's potential issues that I want you to be aware of if you take a puppy away from mom too early. I often see issues with mouthiness. And so when I say mouthiness, I'm referring to puppies who nip excessively. Now, just about any puppy is going to nip, right? But there's this term called bite inhibition. Sometimes I don't say that very well. Bite inhibition that tends to occur, as the puppies are getting older in 5, 6, 7 weeks, and they're getting more mature, and they're wandering around, and they start biting mom. They're exploring I always say that, puppies explore the world with their mouth, and they start exploring the world with their mouth, with their litter mates, and with mom. And so they're going to bite mom. And mom's going to take some of it, but mom's also going to get to a point where she's like, no, I'm not going to take any more of that. And so mom's going to correct the puppy. And in correcting the puppy starts to learn what's called bite inhibition, where, the puppy realizes, okay, don't bite too hard. Don't bite too rough. Don't get too rough with this. And oftentimes, like I say, they can learn it as well from litter mates because they're getting too rough with litter mates, and the litter mate puts the dog in its place and things like that. And so, in any case, mouthiness, bitiness, kind of that excessive, anything with the mouth is often something that I see as a big problem when the puppy is taken away from the litter too early. And then beyond that, I tend to see just a lot of anxiety type issues. Issues where, the dog is anxious or fearful or things like that because there were certain developmental periods that puppy just didn't get with mom. And so, like I said, this is why you never want to, knowingly do this or never do this on purpose. If you have a dog that's going through this, like I say, I've seen more aggression from, dogs that are taken away early, more anxiety problems, fear-based problems, things like that. Just because, like I say, the dog just didn't get that little bit of education from mom that the dog needed. So now, if this is you and you've got that puppy that was taken away too early, now when I say too early, I don't know that there's not an exact number. You're not going to find like a consensus. You're going to find some breeders and trainers or veterinarians say absolutely 7 weeks is the right time, 8 weeks is the right time, 9 weeks. I've heard people say 12 weeks. I've heard some breeders say, no, I won't let any puppies go until 16 weeks. So there's not going to be a consensus as far as like when is the best time, but you will often find a consensus about when to not do it. And so, like I say, I rarely see any breeders, any responsible breeders or veterinarians or trainers recommend that a dog goes home before about 7 weeks of age. Every now and then I've seen, a nice dog go home at about 6 weeks, but generally, like I say, you're not going to find a whole lot of people recommending the dog goes home before 7. When you've taken the dog at 5 or 6, like I say, oftentimes you run into these problems. Now, if that's the case, if you're the owner of this 6-week-old puppy, it is what it is. You've got the dog, whether, because mom died or whether, maybe it wasn't a great choice and you just got a dog that was too young. You've got the dog. And so what you need to be doing from a young age is setting boundaries on exactly what you want with the dog's mouth and doing lots of great socialization. And when I say socialization, I don't mean just exposing your dogs to things. That's just exposure. Socialization is controlled exposure. taking your dog places, getting your dog around things, but making sure that the dog's having positive, positive experiences, often using food to make sure the dog is having positive experiences, and controlling the environment to make sure that, all these external things like shopping carts and cars and people and kids and dogs and cats and, don't leave your dog with a negative, taste in their mouth type thing. You want to make sure that you're kind of controlling those interactions, that those interactions are going off well. And if you can do that, set boundaries and do proper socialization, that's about the best that you can do to hedge against potential future problems. So I wish you best of luck. And again, if you haven't got the dog and the dog is 5, 6 weeks old or younger, don't wait. And even question if you should be getting that dog. Because if you're getting that dog, you're getting that dog from a breeder that doesn't know what they're doing. And if they don't know what they're doing as far as when the puppy should be going home, they probably didn't know what they were doing when they were breeding the dog. And the chances of you getting a nice dog go down when you're working with a breeder that really doesn't know what they're doing. So food for thought, chew on that, and hopefully that helps.